Okay. And then team 2, not so many sight lines towards that skirmish spot, but they do have the ability to just fire on from some of these platforms here. So and you know, likewise there's some from the other side, a little more limited, but these are sort of where the strengths of these. All right. And that's basically what we're looking at on this. So the question is either team going to go ahead for the brawl, try to push? I don't expect it. I expect this to be a little trady across the lines here. Just, you know, some straight across lines, picking apart, and there will be a push at some point, even with the long range. This is going to be but this is going to be a Wolfpack match. I think this is going to be Wolfpack on Wolfpack until someone either gets a good pick, catches someone out of position, or you know, maybe one of the Wolfpack falls, gets an early leg. Hang on. After. All right. So yeah, that's basically where we're going to go. Wait for that pick and then check where that vantage is. If your team is newer in this tournament, pay attention. These are two very good teams. And let's see how this turns out. Hopefully we get a nice, close match. All right, we are ready to go. I'm going to send us over to the match screen before I do too much. And we are... ready to roll. All right, so here we are on Vitric with that gorgeous, gorgeous view of that young blue star. Let's see, I can't quite look at the mechs just yet, but we'll get there as soon as they come down. I'm going to turn the volume up a little bit on the game so we can hear some of that music and some of that inside. I'm going to turn my light down because I see Shiny Ivor is making an appearance here. There we go. All right, and they are coming in here. We've got G-Ram in the Shadowcat, Bronson in the Crusader, Highlander, Marauder 2C, Miss Lynx Arctic, Wolf Prime, Viper, and a Mad Cat. Gonna get a couple of choice looks here. Let's take a look at the Mad Cat, see maybe what they're thinking. We've got some of the Hyper Assault Calls. Yeah, that actually is something to mention. Yeah, we look like we got a bit of a brawl here on Equilibrium. Those Hyper Assault Calls having some range, a great medium, you know, sort of best of both worlds weapon here, especially on this map. So we got the Hyper Assault Calls, the binary lasers, and I'm forgetting the X-Pulse. Probably not going to make too much of an appearance here. Here we've got ourselves a Daka Night Star, some AC Light Peeps. So we've got a receive deck, looks over here on the DSC side of things. So we will see how it goes. Stimrog taking the Mist Links up top. What do you got on there? Anything long range? Let's take a quick look. Not really, just doing the scouting best. Here's the Dark Sea Corsairs with some of those mechs looking at that ramp, preparing maybe for a push. They are in good push position. So we're going to keep on looking at that. And here's Equilibrium on this side, setting up really just for the trade. Look at this. This is really a receive line. They haven't gone too far past. They've made a bid for Theta a little bit, gotten a lot of UAVs. Newer teams, look at those UAVs. Very important. And they're just scouting it out, waiting for that push. That is, they are just looking to receive here. G-Ram catching a little bit from the side here. As that push begins from the Dark Sea Corsairs, here we go. They are chasing G-Ram down, it looks like. But we do have Polycat and Dubix on top. Epic Poner going down in the Hunchback to this receive line on the left-hand side of Equilibrium here. Ivazovsky, there we go. Next going down as Equilibrium demonstrating a fantastic receive and great focus. I'm not even, you know, hang on. Let me set up an air. Let's see where these mechs are hurt. CT from the rear, very interesting. CT legs, but the focus fire is here. Indian going down. Royal Star next on the chopping block as Equilibrium says, you know, you thought here comes our Wolfpack Fire Ant trying to get up there to maybe give him some cover. Red Baron doing some peeking, getting an absolute, ooh, those legs went down. Beautiful focus fire by Equilibrium. Fire Ant, the last, no, wait, Hollow's still out here somewhere. Hollow's out here in the back with fighting with Stimrog. Oh no. So Hollow got held back by Stimrog here in the back. Hollow looking very roughed up, trying to get some shots on Stimrog's leg, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. So we got ourselves, yep, there goes something off of Hollow there. That's halved. He is out of guns. So this is it for Hollow here as Polycat and Dubix come in to finish off what Stimrog started, and now we are up to just the queues.
Theta is controlled by the enemy.
There we go. All right, and there is our first match down from this knockout round. Equilibrium with the win on Vitric Station. Very convincing, beautiful fire convergence there. Things were just dropping so fast. Let me get us some lobby stats here in a second. We'll take a look at the damage numbers. Epic Poner with a 0, just getting cored out in the back by Equilibrium's Wolfpack, I assume is who did that. I didn't catch it on screen. Fire Ant coming in with a 41, just not able to do a whole lot of damage. But look at the spread over here on Equilibrium. Your top is not quite 600, and your bottom is 168, and that Shadowcat that got caught out a little early with GRAM and pulled over. Like, these are really great damage scores. They are very spread. Everyone was doing the job. Fantastic job by Equilibrium there. Let's go and we'll take a little bit of a look at this scoreboard so you can all see some of the deeper data while I get these folks set up for their next match. And we'll take a look. That is essentially what was predicted on the last one. We had one team ready for a push and one team ready for a receive, and you saw that set up. Little adjustments that we will make here and there. All right, so we are here. Next map is going to be Polar Highlands. Again, finding this non-alphabetized group. All right, and we will go ahead and start the timer here for Team 1. All right, I'm going to bring us over to the real quick. So a couple of adjustments here. I'm just going to get rid of a few marks. So what we saw, not on the right tool here. What happened is Equilibrium here set up their defense largely around here. Again, we saw this a little bit of skirmish around the center. Not really a whole lot worrying. Hang on, did the stream go down? No? All right. All right, excellent. Where were we? Right, we are talking about Vitric here. Right. Sorry, little heart attack as one of the players reporting stream down potentially. Right, so we saw that receive and a little bit of trading in the beginning, but mostly just getting in position. So Team 1 being DSC pushed right over the top and some of the sides. Not a whole lot of trade here, but again, we saw that push over into the side, and Equilibrium just picking a side to force them to come. So we saw 4 of their mechs over here in this circle here that I'm about to put out. So about 4 of their mechs over here, a couple of the Wolfpack trading around Stimrog, who set up over here on Theta. I'm just going to draw a little arrow here up on one of these spires. That's where Stimrog sat. And was able to just pounce on Hollow and keep him busy. So not only was there beautiful work by the EQ Wolfpack, but also Stimrog was able to basically 1v1 Hollow back there and take that mech out of the push, which is major. Or Overwatch. I didn't quite check what was on that Mad Cat. It was either some sort of a Overwatch, probably with Hags, or was supposed to be part of that push. Not sure where that went, but that's where we go. So that's our debrief, very quick, of Vitric. Teams didn't take their times on that one, so that one ended up pretty quick. Let's take a look at Polar here. Hang on, a little worried about my stream here. There we go. Okay, everything's working. All right, so we've got EQ on the Team 2 side. Now they have easy access over here to the Gamma Point. Oops, not what I Easy access to the Gamma point here. Send a mech through Sigma over to Gamma. This is a nice little sniper's nest over here for traders. You're probably going to see some traders around Hotel 10, maybe someone back in Sigma, but you're really losing some fire over there, and maybe some I-9, I-10. Expect there to be some Wolfpack play really kind of all around this corner. Right. Now on the other side, we sort of have Kappa. There is a little bit that you can do over here by Kappa. Nice little spot up here. But honestly, what I see a lot of teams doing is basically waiting for that sort of push sometimes. And they set up a line right back here somewhere, just ready to receive. Okay, team 1 is locked. With team 2 starting that timer. All right, that being said, let me put up a couple of these other positions here, sort of the I8 H8, but this Gamma very high, very good point. Expect a 3 cap hold from each team. So we've got a Sigma Gamma. We're going to see some from team 1 Epsilon to Gamma play, or to Kappa play. Maybe not so much Kappa from team 1. We'll see if they decide to do that, or if they decide to receive or push. Team 1 is sort of the side where the development is, I guess, in question, right? That would be the way to put it. But again, this is going to be much more of a trading map. Expect a Wolfpack. I'll be interested to see if either team brings like a rival with some PPC Pop-Tarts. Again, a very Pop-Tartable map, but that is one of the mediums that would be out of the Wolfpack at that point. So let's see where that play leads them. But again, we're going to be seeing some Wolfpack on Wolfpack. This is a map where it is easy to get isolated if you're not paying attention. These teams, of course, will be paying attention. That's why they're in this Invitationals tournament. So we'll check on that. All right, I'm going to check for some quick check, see if there's any feedback in the chat. Looks like we are okay. Fun fact, Young Blue Star was my rapper name. Well, Saffir Q, there you go. So yeah, 1 point going to EQ at the moment, putting them ahead, giving them that momentum for Polar Highlands. Now things are actually going to slow down a little bit from that push. Maybe we'll see where they end up. All right, both teams are now locked. Honestly, I think I've said all that I can about this. Expect, again, one more time, Wolfpack play, very key. But I'm gonna go ahead and launch us into it at this point. Off to the second match, Darksea Corsairs versus Equilibrium. On to Polar Highlands. I gotta say, do you like the rework of this? Old Polar Highlands, though, I still get cravings for on occasion. You know, I know that's maybe a problematic thing to say, but hey, here we are. Let's see here. Too soon to see where folks are, and I don't want to get into cockpits. Here we go. All right, looks like Chicken Man the Executioner. We've got a Stormcrow, Crusader, Orion. Looking at the Equilibrium side, Incubus, that's our Capper. Oh, the Saber, maybe not. Black Lantern, a Hellfire. Been seeing more and more of those, and Shadowcat. Let's see what's on. All right, Heavy Largest, so basically a little mini Hellbringer there on the Stormcrow. Let's see what's on the Hellfire. Probably something similar. Oh no, that's Heavy Gauss, or the Hag and Heavy Medium Laser. Very interesting. Our Saber is going to be doing the thing. Let's see if we can get the Skokomish. Yep. All right, so we got some PPCs in that LB. The XE PPCs are large pulse laser, so we're expecting maybe a bit of a receive, maybe a bit of mid-range, and this is going to be our light killer. Yep, our light killer with micros. Hang on, let me make sure I changed the scene there. I did indeed. Let's scoot over to the Darksea Corsairs, who are developing as predicted, going through Sigma. Someone heading, oh, I'm sorry, that's the other side. Equilibrium developing as predicted. Darksea Corsairs, we've got Red Baron in the Spider 5K, looking at some caps. And Just gonna chill there on Epsi, snag that. We've got ourselves a Death Strike Classic with the Gauss rifle. Crusader with snubs, small pulses, ER peeps, large lasers. So we're looking at sort of a mid to trade kind of a run as well here. Let me take a look. All right. And as we get a couple, we can hear some fire, a little bit of trading. Everybody in decent shape. GRAM maybe taking a quick little hit there in that Shadow Cat. As the trades begin, here come the large lasers. And like I said, over back here by Epsi, here's this receive line. There's some decent trade spots in here. You don't need to push up, but you are a little limited in terms of what you can see over. So Izavosky, she's some crow. Ivazovsky, there we go. You know, you can see the XE can see a little bit over the hills here. But once those sight lines are gone, you're basically in a receive. So now they've determined, they've gotten the scouting in their DSC pushing up. Now that they know they don't have to worry about that brawl quite so much. GRAM coming around the side, maybe to get some scout on this flank, seeing where we're going. But they are sitting pretty here with that 3-cap lead over Theta. XC and Black Lantern making a swing for this left flank of Darksea Corsairs. Yes, no, that is the correct direction. As well, quite frankly, the NASCAR begins. Start your engines. The Corsairs trying to get coverage over Theta a little bit here. Red Baron in the Spider getting a couple snipe shots, but probably eyeing Sigma over Theta. Although actually here it comes. Darksea Corsairs now seeing where they are. Zelk probably letting them go. Zelk's gonna be the sacrificial scouter here. We're moving into a receive line very quickly. Equilibrium getting a bit strung out at the moment, so they'll need to pause for the cause a little bit here as their wolf pack comes into contact with the enemy. Ghosty coming up with the Skokomish, the Orion there, hero, getting some shots as they cross, but taking some shots herself, mostly in that arm. Nothing too serious. That left shoulder's looking a little rough though. Let's see here. Darksea Corsairs needs to start focusing Ghosty down a bit. There we go. There's the open side and open back as well. Ghosty down to 61%. GRAM at 74%. Indian going down. Here comes that equilibrium focus fire. Fire Ant and Indian just taking the brunt of this attack, hoping that the other Corsairs can capitalize on this. Indian going down in that Crusader. That's a very big one. Ivazovsky tangling over here with Hollow. Oh, I'm sorry, with Stimrog. Hollow coming to back up. This is a bad trench. Ghosty probably about to go down here. Yep, there we go as the Corsairs follow in. It's 2-1 at the moment. Things are going quick. Ivazovsky and Hollow are really ready to go in that 40% range as the rest of EQ starts to push into the Corsairs. Zelk and the Summoner also running down here into the 50%. EQ using the push, using that advantage that they got, taking down the Crusader and the Incubus, and just rolling on with it as Royal Star pulls back to try to get some caps. Not to get some caps, I'm sorry, to get some shots on Polly and Stimrock, who are chasing him down as the last one alive yet again. Whew, I didn't even get the chance to click on anyone. Royal, look at that spread damage. Who needs armor anyway, Royal Star? Beautifully done. While this wraps up, I'm going to see if I can click on a couple of these real quick before it. There we go. Some torsos down there. See where people are shooting. CTs. CT. Torsos happen to get opened. Yeah, some more dispersed fire than we saw with the last match from both teams, but they made it work. All right, let me get some team stats up here real quick. All right, looking at the damage spreads real quick. This is a beautiful spread. Look at this. 282. Again, GRAM coming up on the lower end of things, doing that scouting job, getting that information for the team and directing that push. But everyone else, 400s, 500s, 300s, a very tight grouping of spread. Now we look at Indian and that Crusader, got absolutely jumped first on, did not pull back with his friends as necessary. Everyone else in that 200 to 300. Sorry, there's something going on outside my house there. You know, we see a much lower damage spread in that they were just taken out in a line. So we'll hop out here. I'll send you guys the scoreboard. While I queue up the next map, which is Hibernal Rift for the next one, a mid-range, a reworking of Canyon when they decided to put, God, how old is Hibernal? I don't know. But either way. All right, we're gonna go ahead and start that timer for team 1. All right, and we're gonna go back and talk about Polar here. Back to the map. Hang on, let me check on the stream health. Stream seems to be going okay. And the ad break is happening in a great spot. Love it. All right, so back to Polar. Here's what we saw from team 1. We did see, I am going to put their path in yellow. Hopefully it's not too much of an issue. But they set up that receive line right there and then just started working their way. Hang on, make it yellow. Just sort of around this corner and, well, actually, that's even a poor line. They went close and then back and tried to set up their receive line back there in Juliet 9 to 8 here. Actually, maybe... And why didn't that? And into I-9 a little bit. So that was our real receive line here. Let's put the pathing of team 2 in the green here. So again, they set up a bit of a screen, a trade line over here in Hotel 10. I'm sorry, you can't actually see that over here in Hotel 10. And then set someone up in Gamma and ended up just pushing sort of through and around. Now the problem was, I'm going to drop some mechs here. These need to be blue. What happened is for some reason I can't place these. Let's see here. Well, we see the line here ultimately up in Juliet 9, and what Equilibrium did over here is just push right around and just ride up this line. Is what happened there. That's where the difficulty with DSE, or where DSE's difficulties came from. They needed to pull that back sooner. You could see that they saw it a little bit, but at that point we're probably talking the frontline Wolfpack was in like 100 and 200 meters, and the rest of the traders on Equilibrium are fast movers, and they were just able to capitalize on that difference and ride up the receiving line. All right. Let's head on over to Hibernal here. Hibernal, a little different. This one is going to be, I don't know which way we're going to take this. This is a mobile map. We're going to see some mobile traders here. The Executioner, again, this Kokomish. This could go either way. DSC may be prepping for a push on this. It is pushable, but you got to be really careful about a team like Equilibrium. So hang on. Let me just do a quick round of checks on, ooh, my scoreboard. I need to update that. Equilibrium win. There we go. All right. And over to Hibernal again. Let's see. How do I want to do this? All right. Let's start with Team 1. Team 1 has just a really interesting trade line that can be used right here. Well, I guess we have an arrow. All right. Team 1 is locked. 1 second. All right, Team 1 has a really nice trade line here, and with a couple of options over on this line, right? Team 2 has a very similar trade line here. If we're gonna see movement, we're gonna see movement. Well, actually, we might see a bit of a clash here. Gonna mark this in green over Epsi. I did not mark that in green. Good Lord, please fix that. Okay, there we go. We might see some fight around Epsi. If Team 2 sends anybody alpha, they're going to need to head around. But this is a place that I would expect maybe a scrap. I don't expect a big scrap over Theta, because you start exposing yourselves to these lines of fire here from both sides. Really, they just all have the firing lines on Theta. It is a dangerous place to scrap for the Wolfpacks, and getting stuck in either of these valleys, it's bad, yo. So we'll see. I don't expect too much resistance over Theta. Team 1 may take it, Team 2 may take it, maybe a little scrap there. I don't expect anything much over cap, but this is a short map. It's going to be based on kills. That being said, again, it looks like DSC with that push over Vitric may have a similar thought process here. Looking at a push, probably over the D4 C4 line, maybe through Theta. That would be not great just because of some of the terrain there. But those would be our options here. Both teams are locked, by the way, so we're just having ourselves a little chat here. Don't mind me. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say on these. These are sort of our lines of setup at this point. This is where we're going to see, and we're going to see motion. That's the other thing. Don't stay too static in your training decks, folks. You see both these teams moving and applying pressure to each other, and that is how it works. So expect to see both teams set up, probe each other with the wolf packs, and then we'll see where things go for there. Expect EQ to be highly mobile, as they always are, even with their trade decks. So okay, we're going to go ahead and launch here. As soon as I switch us back to our map cast. All right. Here we go. Match 3, EQ up with 2. But again, the ending of this seeding is determined by points won. All of these teams very good, to say the least. Extremely talented players working very well together at this level. So expect to see some good things. And, you know, if you're hanging out in the queue and you're a newer team, take a look at what these guys are doing. Oh yeah, this is one of those maps I could take a look. We've got that Exy here and the Crusader, a light peep and a heavy peep. That's interesting from Bonson. Would have to map that out. Music starts. Let's see what else we got here. Some large pulses on the Exy. Our Spider with the snub and machine guns. Snub fire starter. Little toasty, but I like it. Highlander PPCs, the night gear with the Gauss. So yeah, we've got definitely a heavy on the trade. G-Ram getting the early scout here, checking out Epsilon. Like I said, probably a little scrap. Phoenix Hawk over here. We're going to shift over to the Darksea Corsairs, where we have Primos in the mist links. Looks like they're not really going to follow until we get the Hatamoto in here. Hatamoto with a light peeps and AC. The Black Widow with our standard AC5 light peeps. I don't know if that's going to be enough output here. But an interesting choice. Our Light Killer Lantern, and we've opted for the Snub Brawl Crusader. So yeah, I think what we're ultimately looking here is a push from the Darksea Corsairs over Epsi. Equilibrium setting up those lines, sort of not quite abandoning the Volcano here. You know, we've got the Crusader and the Exy. They're setting up to receive. They're getting some shots on the lights, but this push is going to come over. G-Ram is hopefully going to take a look here for their team, maybe going to see the push. I don't know that they've seen the push yet. I'm not seeing any development from Equilibrium, so I think Dark Corsairs OPSEC is still here. They're looking like trading. Wolfpack Primos, Stimrog screening Primos over here on Theta. Maybe going to get a pinch here with Magic Pain Glove. Here we go. Primo shot in the back with Stimrog. Yeah, so we've got ourselves a little light fight as the push goes over. We're going to move over to the Darksea Corsair push. Hollow with the Hatamoto at 66% at this point. Even though I cannot find... Oh, that's way in the back. All right, so Hollow just getting out-traded here. Ivazovsky also in that back. No, is in the front here. And here comes the push. Black Lantern, Epic Poner getting punished for poking. Here is a little receive line slash poke line from the Equilibrium perspective. So we've got a couple of tradings with Overwatch. This is a dangerous part for the Darksea Corsairs. They're a little more in their line, but as you can see, Equilibrium has put, oh, Ghosty up top on the level on the outside with the night gear. I don't know if they've been noticed yet. But either way, we've got Poner and Fire Ant going down. The Phoenix Hawk and the Black Lantern just dying quickly on that due to this focus fire of Equilibrium, which we've been seeing. Bronson in the Crusader getting a little bit of focus fire, probably open CT. Yep, there we go. We see Indian going down. Royal Star next in line, but not before Merc J goes down. Where the heck was Merc J? All right, Merc J out here. Equilibrium again, focusing file. Royal Star Hollow down, leaving Ivazovsky and Primos. Primos in that mislinks joined the fight somewhere. Yeah, I missed where where they were, but Ivazovsky going down in the Marauder. That equilibrium, just they were able to hold that corner, especially with Ghosty up on top of the level there with that night gear. Take note of that position, folks. That is, there's a few maps that have that option. This is apparently one of them. That one is new to me. That being said, let's take a look at our damage. Again, a good damage from EQ. Pain Glove over there skirmishing with the one light mech for a while, so low damage there, but otherwise very good. That Spider putting out 200 damage, very good for that. 3 double Ds here from DSC, and that is that fire from Equilibrium Hollow just getting out traded by 3-4 mechs. And Poner and Fire Ant also in the double Ds, just peeking that corner and again catching 3 mechs. All right, let's see if we can head on over to the scoreboard while we get everything switched up here. We're not going to have too much of a little talk while I do side swaps here, so give me a moment. Take a look at those beautiful scores while we take a look. I'm going to take a quick look and see if there's any feedback from the chat. All right, nothing a whole lot from the chat. That's fine. Hope y'all are enjoying it. Sorry, we got a 7-minute delay, so be aware of that. And I am on my own today due to some unfortunate catastrophic and obviously, but hang on. Okay. All right, sorry. All right, hang on. I gotta check the rosters. They have mixed up my setup here, so I am missing one person here from EQ. Sofsky. All right, so we've got a little bit of confusion going on with the teams. This is a play all 5 chicken. One sec, double checking teams. Chicken and Royal. Chicken and Royal. Okay, sorry, a little bit of mix up on the switchover due to the confusion. 1 second, folks. Confirming teams. All right. All right, starting with team 1, I'm going to log that win, swap the sides on the scoreboards. Thank you all for your patience while we get going here, and we will talk about what just happened. So again, here we saw that fight over Epsi, as I mentioned. So here is the push line. I'm going to mark it in yellow. So we went basically through here and... oh, I forget which corner it was. I think they pushed all the way up to here. So our fight, I'm just going to actually move this over here. Here, give me the circle. It's fine. New circle. The fight ended up being over here. Excuse me. With Ghosty on top, I'm going to say roughly there. I did not catch the path. So anybody that's watching, watch the mini map for the pathing on that one. So see where that ends up. But that's an interesting one to investigate. Not the first time we've seen some on the wall play. We saw some on the edge of the map play in TOS as well on some of the test maps. So again, we saw the fight over here, and basically it was a matter of sort of where the corner peak, the corner peaks that were going. That's a real thick line, but that's fine. We saw a couple of the DSC traders setting up somewhere around here, around Epsi. They moved along. They just got out traded by Ghosty on the wall and anyone who was able to tuck up and get lines on them while everyone else was tucked around the corner. So this is a presentation. So you saw Hollow losing percentage very quickly because he was basically the one that was chosen out of the two that were there. That happens, but also facing down 3 mechs that were focusing him while everyone else was around the corner trying to get a push. Now the wolf pack of EQ, we saw a little fight over here, Theta with 1 mech. They saw that 1 mech was out and decided to sort of capitalize on that, set up the hold, and peek this corner as well over here in Charlie, right? So this corner was basically where everything was fought, and you saw the peaks go disastrously through that EQ. Did the power of that EQ focus fire, folks? Here's the thing: you can focus really any component as long as anybody is shooting it. This is something I've talked to teams about for a while now, especially in faction play. Just sometimes go CT. You can call legs, but you got 2 targets to call that. If you've got 3 or 4 mechs shooting a CT, a mech drops fast, and if they don't drop, they get scared because if they die, their weapons are off the field. Right, so they start tucking in, their slow will fire down. It's very powerful to CT a mech or just absolutely open them up in one shot. Get that focus fire, work with your team, find out where your preferred components are. This will vary from mech to mech sometimes. Like Marauders are going to want to focus some of them on that right shoulder because that's where literally all their weapons are. You take that out, it's less armor than the CT. You know, you learn these things with your team, and that is the power of focus fire that we're seeing right here and that we saw last week from Equilibrium as well. All right, next up is Mining Collective. Again, this is a mostly symmetrical map. However, Team 2 does have a little bit of an advantage. If you take a look, that's not what I wanted. If you take a look at Theta here real carefully, you'll notice that right around here there are openings if you're not aware, and this side is closed off, which means that Team 2 has an advantage of getting and holding Theta. Expect a very minor scrap. This is not going to be a cap game, but the caps do apply pressure. Teams will generally choose one side or the other unless they're really looking at typing things out. This is some teams will actually end up splitting. Oh, what can I do with this? Let's go orange because it's like spooky season over here at the States. We'll split this north and south. So Team 2 will generally cycle this way, and Team 1 will generally cycle this way. We've got our power positions here to look for. I'm going to mark these in pink. Delta 4, a very good power position. Echo 4, a good power position. These are nice and high, so you can continue to rain down, and also the scouting. Scouting is going to be key. Not sure where the Wolfpack is going to go here. You can push up against the sides here. I don't expect either of these teams to do that, although DSC has been a little pushy lately, so we'll see whether they decide to push down either corridor. But pushing up Theta will be a bit of a death sentence to do that, so you push up one of the sides and work your way around. That being said, the other team's Wolfpack is generally going to be playing center, trying to secure these power positions for their long for their sight lines and really scouting out any push. So expect early scouting on this map because both a push and trade are very viable on this. And that's sort of where we're looking. Expect some rotation. We've seen that again. Hang on 1 second. All right, everyone, we're going to go ahead and launch this out. I know we haven't gotten a whole lot of insight into the lobby and chat, but these teams are moving along, which is nice. And with just me, I can cover what I want to say rather quickly. So here we go. Match. Go ahead and launching the 4th one. Let me make sure my scoreboard is swapped. Very good. And we should be good. Checking things out. All right, here we are on mining. That nonsense. Oops. Oh, that's bad. Well, we're going to wait till we launch to get out of this since that has caused problems in the problem. But here, hey, here you see everybody. And oops. Hang on. Let me onto the field at least first.
Reactor.
All right, here we are looking at the teams. We've got Equilibrium over here. We've got Chicken Man in that XE. Let's see, what do we got here? Peeps on this one. Shine Plasma in the Shadowcat now with a lot of heavy lasers. Again, toasty but brutal. PPC's on the Bounty Hunter here. Let's see what we got here. G-Ram in the Night Gear for this one with a heavy Gauss. And Huntsman. I wonder, do we put heavy Gauss on that too? Yes, we did. That is the double. So we've got some DACA, some HAG usage here. Did we bother with binaries on the Crusade? No, they can't be. Yeah. But no, heavy PPC, light PPC again on Bonson's Crusader. Now, let's take a look at Darksea Corsairs with their Crusader. We're looking at a snub nose. Looking at this pathing, they are looking a little pushy. Again, we are pushing for that Echo 4 side. For Equilibrium over there, and Darkseas is taking more of a spread out approach, maybe looking to play for Theta, but they haven't been able to capitalize that due to I think Shine Plasma probably getting some shots on there. Shine scouting this area, seeing if there's anyone in the middle. Sorry about that, a little bit of a clip there. But yeah, so here we are looking down the middle, checking things out. Ghosty getting some shots on Primos, who is just trying to hold that back line. Again, here is the scouting. You know, the Darksea Corsairs looking at that rotation, holding that high ground, not pushing into this dead zone over by Kappa when absolutely they could. Here's that north-south split that I was talking about in the directions. And Darksea Corsairs spreading out, looking for that cap lead in order to pressure Equilibrium to do their push. Equilibrium consolidating on the high ground here, just kind of firing across, waiting for things to develop. Let's see how we go. Indian and the Crusader a bit beat up here. I suspect that yeah, a little bit beat up there. Fire Ant with a head open. That's probably a waste of damage. We'll see how that turns out. And Hollow over here with looking to do a bit of a flank, open in the back. So probably caught a very good burn from some heavy large lasers while crossing. So here they go. They're starting that rotation, trying to find the flanks with Equilibrium. Equilibrium already crossing, seeing them despite the screen here with Ivazovsky, seeing that motion. Yep, there we've got some shots way off in the distance. You can see coming from Equilibrium from some of those PPC mechs. So they know right where the Darksea Corsairs are. I think the Corsairs have a good line on their setup as well. Now, Stimrog, keep an eye over here on the mini map. See where Stimrog is going. Stimrog's going to find the side of their flank, but here the Darksea Corsairs, I'm just going to try to get that in my head, are pulling back with their light pack, having just really run afoul, dodging an airstrike there. Hollow now at 59% with that open arm. That's a rough spot to be in. But we see the cycle go, and now here we have an east-west split. We've rotated all the way around from the initial spawns. EQ taking Theta though, and sort of swapping that count again. Nyan going down for Equilibrium in that Bounty Hunter, and here we are going to see the the Corsairs try to pull through on this flank here. Chicken Man in a bit of trouble getting pushed by Fire Ant. But here Equilibrium just getting everybody together. G-Ram, Magic Pain Glove, cycling around, pushing them back, punishing Primos for staying on the ground. Should be using some hop-ups there with Fire Ant. Use the high ground. And EQ collapsing on the lines here. Ivazovsky going down as well. Hollow coming around. This is our spot, and you can see Equilibrium just corralling the Corsairs into one of these kill zones. We talked about this last week. I didn't really get into where the kill zones are for this one, but G-Ram catching heat from everybody, keeping it at 2-2, but you can see the very, very, very clear armor advantage as Fire Ant goes down to Shine Plasma, just sniping around. Magic Pain Glove taking some shots as well, just trying to get Indian down in that Crusader, which has got to be looking rough. Actually less than I thought it was, but still very heat capped. And Equilibrium just pushing them around, just bullying them into this corner of the map. Epic Poner And Primos, the last to go. Epic Poner going down in that Black Lantern to Ghosty, who managed to it was G-Ram that was tucked in the corner. But either way, well played by Equilibrium. You can see some of that map control, and they just started to circle and take positions away from the Corsairs. Even though the Corsairs got that early kill lead, that was fine. It brought them into that circle. So watch the mini map on that. There's only so much one mouth can say here. So we will continue, but watch that mini map, watch that beautiful, beautiful response by Equilibrium, and you can see the motion that both these teams are doing, and Equilibrium just getting that into their team. G-Ram in that night gear pulling 766 despite getting tucked in that corner late, putting out so much damage. Ghosty and the Huntsman as well. That was 2 Hag 20s. Take a look at that build, and here we see a better distribution from DSC on their scores. We're seeing good stuff. A bit of a better showing, no double Ds this time. Still a pretty tight grouping, but we see the just EQ a little bit of a different, more spread, more damage from EQ, but just constant fire because they surrounded DSC and were just shooting what they could shoot. So well done on both teams there. All right, we are moving on to the final match of this matchup, Corsairs versus Equilibrium. And double checking sides here. Yep. So we are going to go ahead and start with the Team 1 timer. All right. So let us head on over to, well, actually, I'm not going to, well, we'll take a look at the map. Best map is. All right. All right, so Crimson is going to be our last one, but just a quick recap over Mining Collective. We saw much more rotation, quite frankly, than I expected, but we did see this distribution. We saw EQ taking basically this side, firing across and rotating along with it. So by the end, we had some other folks here, and then everyone just collapsed as DSC continued their rotation around. So same distribution, rotation around, EQ coming up, watching it, basically following it in and taking a flank. And we saw just basically the entirety of the kills happening. I'm going to put this in, put it in orange. Nah, that won't show up. Purple. Basically in this corner, this is one of the dead zones. Actually, I'm going to mark some of these dead zones. I'll mark them in pink. So like, these are the square pink areas are bad places to get stuck. You move through them. Moving through them, you're gonna need to, but like it's just bad because teams will get these power positions and just be able to rain in on you, and everything just sort of unfolds given them if you give the other team the high ground advantage, the angles aren't going to work. You're going to be able to hit their torsos where they're highly armored. They're going to be able to hit you pretty much anywhere unless you're tucked up against the wall, in which case you can't shoot them. So if you're new and wondering how the hell do I deal with mining, I keep dying, check where you are. I can almost guarantee that every time you end up in either these pink quadrants, that is probably, if I had a heat map of deaths on this map, that's where you would see them. So we are going to move on to Crimson Straight here. Now Crimson Straight, interesting. We've got EQ on the team 2, and we've got DSC on team 1. Now team 1 has a little bit of an advantage. I'm going to show some team 1 firing lines where you can take EPSI and just kind of like fire across into, we get a straight line here, fire across into sort of Kappa here. So you really force the other team to push towards the outside, towards Gulf 5. 1 second, getting the team 2 timer started since team 1 just locked. They can also get shots onto the island. Now the island is the power play here. Theta is out in the middle of nowhere. This is a map that you can get a lot of diversity in strats. You can brawl pushing through Echo 5, Fox 5. You can brawl on the island if both teams want to show up to do that. And but Theta, in terms of caps, you can get it. It's all the way out there, but you are a mech down. So you need your fastest mech to get there like immediately. Otherwise, your opponents are going to realize that you're a mech down, and it's going to take you still forever, even at your fastest mech, basically an eternity to get back to the fight. So they will capitalize on that if they can. Now, the island is a power position. You can cap, and if you take the island, you can cap. I'm going to put these firing lines in yellow here. You've got shots on Epsi. You've got shots on Sigma. You've got shots kind of on Kappa, right? So if you can push the other team off Kappa, you can do wonderful things. And you have maybe a couple shots on Gamma. And of course, naturally, you got shots on the saddle. So what I would expect these teams to do, honestly, is both are hopefully going to try to take the island. If EQ takes the island, I think it's going to be very problematic for DSC the way that this has gone. So I think what DSC is going to need to do is push the island, and what you can do, put a blue path here, red path here. I'm sorry, EQ is coming from this side, but EQ can push through island to Epsi if they wanted to push. I doubt they are. They're probably going to push and hold. It is this side that DSC is going to want to push. Let me put that in blue. Push through island, try to take island Sigma over to Kappa, and just try to take it away from EQ. I would expect an island fight, and hopefully DSC doesn't try to push across the saddle, because I think that's going to be the downfall. But again, I could be wrong, so we'll see how we go. Both teams are locked at this point, so I'm going to head us on over to the to the match screen. No, I said that right, actually. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to go ahead and launch the fight. All right, how are we doing for time here? Let's see, next one will start. Sorry, I am indeed looking ahead to the next match. We're coming up on it. We'll have a few minutes break between the Avens and KDCM match. Why? Why did this do this? This is very strange.
Reactor.
All right. Oh, we're back. And canted. Are we still canted? No. All right. So checking out our looks here. So here we have Ghosty in the Gauss rifle large. Yeah, look at all these traders. 6 ER large with some backups on Nyan's Rancor. Magic Plane Glove going in the Phoenix Hawk to scout the backside of the mountain, being very careful. And it looks like we might have a couple mechs going on Equilibrium side, at least towards Theta. Unsure, just to kind of scout over there with a little bit of backup. Now let's go check out the Darksea Corsairs. See, we've already got these trades going on over here. Over on this Kappa side, as mentioned, we got Fire Ant in the Shadow Cat. With some large lasers. So yeah, we've gone heavy trade on Crimson here. Hollow in the Bloodhouse going to this trading position up here, which is a very long range, takes a minute to get there. You can see that he's getting there. But we've got Sigma, Kappa, we've got even caps with Darksea, with the Corsairs with advantage. That being said, Equilibrium has gone for Theta, while the Corsairs balked a bit on the saddle. So they are going to give up Theta. They're going to need, yep, we see Merc J and Poner and Fire Ant. That's 3 mechs down. As soon as Equilibrium realizes that there's 3 mechs there, they're going to start crossing. Never mind, they're going to start crossing now. Hopefully they've caught on to that fact, as I suspect some of the scouting has. If not, they've noticed that they're not getting traded from the island, so they're going to take it. This is going to be problematic for the Corsairs, who are holed up in places where the Equilibrium can shoot. Hollow isn't going anywhere from that position, so just setting up, maybe hoping to defend a Sigma. But they really need that Theta cap in order to work with Equilibrium. Now, Equilibrium taking a couple shots going across, not a whole lot. Look at the damage, not a whole lot going on here. Indian taking the most in the Crusader as they pass. Let me see where we're sitting here. Open back, rear CT, so probably a couple of shots from the island as moving on. But otherwise, everyone's at 99, 100%. Polycad taking a couple shots there. So here we see Equilibrium, noting the Corsairs have a mech out and a couple mechs. So we've got some trading with Chicken Man Skokomish, which is a quick mover. So trading a little bit on that saddle. Looks like they are giving Theta to the Corsairs. Why? Well, they're going to come out of this tunnel. I don't know whether out the side and over the top, but they've noticed that the Corsairs are up top and they're going to try to pinch with the snipers. Now the Corsairs immediately recognizing that they are in a bad spot, saving their armor, hopping around the outside of the saddle to support and go around this tunnel push, leaving Equilibrium's traders out on the island. This is the counter move. Now Ivazovsky continuing to trade here, getting some halfway decent shots. But losing some armor there and Hollow. So keep an eye on their percentages there. So you see Hollow's dropping as Equilibrium has 4 mechs now on the island, and the Corsairs are essentially in the tunnel. Now I don't know if Equilibrium knows. This could be a bit of a coup. Royal Star coming in. Gotta wait for your buddies there, but we've essentially sort of swapped sides again here. However, Equilibrium again controlling that island. We're going to have a little bit of a saddle platform fight going on here. A pinch of the Wolf Pack, which is going to be good to watch over here. Pain Glove getting some fights on. I think we've got, who's coming over here? Chicken Man coming over with the Skokomish. G-Ram taken down to 81% with the Shadow Cat here. Fire Ant going down also in their Shadow Cat as the Corsairs abandoned ship. That's curious. They had a bit of a pinch going on there, even with Chicken Man coming over. They just kind of left Fire Ant to go and try this little flank over here when they had something going on. Though I guess EQ Phoenix Hawk and Viper did come over the top, so that is an option that's going on right there. Let's see here. So yeah, where are we sitting here? We're going to pick Hollow here, over here. I think this is our commando over here, Stimrog. Yep, Stingrog in the commando here to shut Hollow down. At the very least, make a nuisance, but I think Hollow has taken enough damage that it's going to be a problem, and Hollow is cooking himself. Now, Merc J coming around here to support Ivazovsky, but again, they're going to have to deal with that. Hollow going down. There goes Poner in the language. I'm sorry, in the Lanner, and so we get a water fight over here with G-Ram. It's a well, it's a 3v2, but really we've got the 3 on the island focusing this fight here. Royal Star taking a burn there. We're sort of trading here. Indian just getting stuck out here. That's a bad peak against those traders. You need to be tucking in. I would be pulling back if I were the Corsairs, trying to get these snipers out of line as they did. Keep playing those sides. But Red Baron going down, Indian going down, Chicken Man getting close here in the Orion, taking some shots from the Kappa point thereabouts. But ultimately, it's going to be far. It's just going to be a tickle. Royal Star getting pinched by 4 here. That's going to be, Royal Star's going to go down here real quick. I don't know if they're going to get able to get a kill from Equilibrium on this one, having sort of messed around. Merc J and the Flea trying to deal with some of the traders. Ivazovsky going down. Now we're down to Merc J. It is 8-on-1 with the Flea in the water. Hard to see. Hard, you know, you get a little bit of reduction going down there, but ultimately, there it is. Chicken Man with the across the map. Well, not quite across the map, but the across the water shot to end Merc J out from nowhere there. Equilibrium's going to take this one 8-0 as well. And this is a sweep for Equilibrium on the first match. We'll take a look at some lobby strats. Or some lobby stats, good lord. Don't mind me. We've got 3 in the 500s on EQ side. Those are not all of our snipers. Chicken Man with the 400. Very high damages around here, as you expect with sort of more of a trade strat. And then DSC just sort of getting shut down across the board. Everyone in like somewhere around the 100, except for Ivazovsky getting some great trades by that Kappa point. And where's our Blood Ass? Over here, 170. It's that position is difficult. You spend time getting there. You're at such a range that everything that connects is severely reduced. Even in the Rancor. So you're just not doing as much damage as you think you are. It's high, you can get some scouting, but it's a lot of weight to commit to a point where you're not getting all that damage. And here we see that difference there as I get booted out from here. I'm going to send you all over to the scoreboards. There's going to be a bit of a break after this. I'm going to take about 5 minutes. I'm going to come back, maybe talk about some map stuff here. Actually, we'll do a quick... All right, we will do a, well, let me see, is that the right one? That looks like the right one. Yes. All right, so there's our scores. Give me a second. We'll talk about sort of what happened there really briefly. We'll take a little break, and then I'll be back and getting us ready to go for the next one. All right, everybody. So thank you for watching. Thank you to both teams. And we are going to be, that is another win for Equilibrium. Equilibrium coming in 5-0. Right, so lobby stats for sorry, so many things going on. I'm just going to go ahead and clear this. So what we saw here from our team 2 side, they did decide to go the Kappa direction. They didn't even really send anybody over to that, but they did send folks over to Theta and, you know, a couple over to the platform. A little bit of fight going on there. Meanwhile, we've got, like I said, we had our traders from Team 1, EQ, hopping up on Epsi, getting those shots across, a little bit of trade. Oh, and we also had Hollow up here in the back in Hotel 4. Wrong tool, sorry, folks. Still wrong. There we go, Hollow over here. So, again, we saw a couple of lights pushing this way for Theta for EQ. So EQ took Theta, gave it up, pushing their lights around here to force this fight right here, again using the green to happen. So basically what they did was they said, well, heck yeah, let them send 2 to 3. We had a couple of snipes. I'm going to mark these in green. So we had a couple of trades going this way, arrow, because they were really going both ways. Sure, fine, whatever, we'll run with it. So we had some trades going this way, but basically what happened is EQ took, oh, I'm just super confused as to what's happening, but they took these lines and forced the fight over here, and Echo 5 into Golf 5 sent a runner over here to harass Hollow in Hotel 4, and that's sort of where it went. They held this power position, they had control over the fights, and fought where their Overwatch was. So everyone having, you know, basically it took a little longer to get to the point that I was talking about, but when your fight is in Echo 4, Echo 5, a little bit in Delta 3, this island has firing lines all over that, and DSC did not do anything to count that. EQ even just waited for them to take the, hang on, I'm on this screen. I'm talking about the map, and y'all are looking at scores. How rude. No, just kidding. But yeah, so we'll take a look at the map room. Thank you. So you know, a lot of what I was talking about you won't necessarily see where it was, but we had some trading lines across here, DSC up in Fox 7, but otherwise EQ happy to take Theta at the first, apply some pressure, try to pull some mechs out, but then pull back along, force the fight where their islands, once their island snipers took the island completely unopposed and fresh of armor, they just took the fight to where their snipers could have that Overwatch, and DSC was forced into that position. At some point, I mean, they could have danced around, but once the island was taken, you know, you can fight over Gamma a little bit and Theta, and they tried to hold Kappa, but again, they see, team 1 here is blue. So yeah, EQ just sent a light around to harass the snipers over here in Kappa and just kind of keep them off. And that being said, these snipers at Kappa weren't doing the full damage that they could at the beginning, versus the EQ snipers who were basically firing at Ivazovsky over here in Gulf 5. All right, everybody. So that is going to do it for this part of the stream. The stream will be staying up, so just hang tight. I'm going to go to the wait. Give me 5 minutes, and we'll be right back with some more Invitationals action.
Let's play this game.
let's try it this way. Apparently I was in studio mode. Hello everybody and welcome to the next run-up of these invitationals. And pause that. All right, we are going to start or try to start up here our Avens versus KDCM. Let me see here. All right, I'm just going to send out, and let me know who to invite. So I'm just going to invite everybody. Let's see here. We should be starting here. Well, no, we're running a little bit behind. But hey, we'll get there. Oh no, we're not. Yes, we are running a little bit behind, but we'll be fine. So invites are being sent out here, folks. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And what else am I looking for? I should be finding J. Giggity. J. And who's my other one? T. Yes. All right. Invites are out, and then we'll get going with our map ban. And then we'll get going on. While we're waiting for them to hop on, though, I'll go ahead and let's talk about that last match a little bit more that we were talking about, because I know there were some questions in the meantime. Let's see. So catching up here, yes, on the skull, we were 3 ER peeps and 1 LB20 usually on those. I don't know why I kept calling them Skokomishes. They are skulls. And then let's see, what were some of the others? Oh, the distances. Yeah. Let's take a look at some of the distances. Let me head on over to the map room. So talking distances, where's the ruler tool? The ruler tool is here. So from Hollows Point to the island, we're talking about 1,300 meters. From this point over to Kappa, we're looking at 16 to 1,800, but from the island over here to Kappa Point is like well within the range of most blue lasers. Hopefully those are showing up on the screen. Check here. They are not, but the grid squares on this, to answer someone's question, are about 500 meters each. For Crimson on Hibernal, they are also about 500. Oh, maybe they've standardized them. Well, could have sworn like on Polar they were huge though. No, I guess the grid lines are all around. All right, excellent. All right, here we go. All right, KDC, I'm making a show of force here. We're gonna head on over to our map band channel here. Oh, I need to get the other one. Okay. I need to clear the maps and everything as we get going here. Just waiting for both sides to reform. Both ready. All right, hang on. We are almost ready. All right, we are beginning the map ban process. We'll see where these teams go. Now, to reiterate what this process is, Avens is going to choose the first map. KDCM is going to choose the second. We're going to go back and forth until we're done. Then KDCM is going to choose the side of the first map that they want, and then repeat the process for which side. So we could see a bunch of switching, or maybe not. I don't know. KDCM tends to be easy with their map selection choices, but we'll see what sides and what maps the teams want. We're going to play them in the order that they are chosen. And again, if you're just hopping on, this is the beginning of a 3-week round robin. We're going to start with Hibernal tournament for the seeding of the top 4. Of the top 12. And these teams are not allowed to play in the comp queue, which means that they will be, which means that the top 8 from Q are the ones that are going to be going into the top 12 on that. So, that's how this is functioning. Yeah, and otherwise this is all the lobby. So for the next 2 weeks, stay tuned. If you are in the queue, steal strats and mechs from these top tier players. Second is going to be Vitric. Third is going to be Mining. And we've got Crimson or Polar for our first. Let's see what KDCM want there. I'm sure they're chatting it up. Looks like it is Polar, which leaves Crimson for last yet again. Now sides on Hibernal. Let's see here. Let's go with Avens. Will be side 1. And that is KDCM's choice to start. And now Avens is choosing for Vitric Station. And looking at this again, generally you want to lead with your best foot. Keep that momentum going. Saw EQ being able to maintain their momentum as well. All right, even side 1 again. I like this, keeping it easy for me. On Mining Collective, kind of symmetrical, kind of not, does have some certain advantages. We'll talk about that when we get there. But otherwise, Vitric, very symmetrical. Hibernal, again, well, much like Mining Collective, a little of symmetrical-ish rework of the old Canyon network, for those of you who weren't around for it. It's not really a rework. They basically took that and adapted. It's an adaptation of Canyon more than anything. And then let's see where we end. All right, so we have 2 map switches going to happen. For Polar Highlands, Avens is going to be on side 2. Otherwise, KDCM going for whatever I said. All right, let's see here. Choice. And we are going with we will begin. Avens setting their teams and lances and all that good stuff while we get the joy of talking what we're about to see. Maybe. What we might be about to see. Avens a very versatile group. KDCM known for their pushes and definitely pushed their way into this. Let's see, everything correct here. Good. And we are starting with Hibernals. So honestly, this is, I would expect something very similar to this. I'm just taking a look. Oh, map room first. So looking very similar to this on Hibernal. If KDCM is going to push, they're going to push around this right side here. If they're going to trade, they're going to set up, I'm sorry, Avens. I mean, either way, this is the corridor to push. We might see some rotation around, sort of our famous counterclockwise rotation, but here I have already set up from our previous match sort of where these lines of setup are going to be, unless something really wonky happens. So something I wasn't aware of is the ability to hop up on this wall with the night gear. So last time EQ Equilibrium decided to just sort of receive here, backed by their Charlie Spawn on team 2. So we've got a reverse. These folks have watched. I don't know if they've adapted, but honestly expect some trade from Avens until they see otherwise. And then KDCM, I honestly don't know what they're going to do. They are right now, they are the wild cards. They had an upset of from the KDC, or from their match with 5JDX, who was banished to Q. And really an underdog story. So, you know, we always love to see that. You know, we always like to see those underdogs come through, and we're going to see where they sit here, you know, with some more of the top teams. Now, Jay and his crew, very good. You know, top tier players. I think the underdogs again in this match. So let's see if they can push on. And again, losing this doesn't. It matters, but it also doesn't. This is not a knockout round. This is a best of points to be allotted for the seeding. So 1 point for win. So if a team ends up having 15 points, they're probably going to be, well, actually, I think mathematically they are going to be seed 1 going into the tournament. And this sort of just matters for that positioning. The rest are going to be taken from ComQ in the order that they are. Or in the order that they end up with on October the 1st. So let's see how these teams are sorting out. So we are getting into, I'm going to give them a 2-minute warning here in a couple seconds here. I'd be interested to see if we see any Kappa scraps on this map. I don't think we're going to. It's just sort of a disadvantageous position. Team 2 can get some really nice high ground on Kappa. So expect Team 2 to take Kappa, Team 1 just to abandon it entirely. It's around time. All right, yeah, these teams, a lot of fun. You know what? I'm just gonna swap you guys over to lobby so you can watch this. So you can watch some of this banter going on. These teams are known for their banter. And it's always fun, especially since we've chatted about Hibernal already. All right, they are locked. We'll begin the next 5 minutes as KDCM gets ready here. Let's see, what else can we glean from this? We've got Hibernal Vitric. Vitric, another nice brawl. That was KDC, or Aben's choice was Vitric. And then mining, we're looking at our close range map before a long range map, which is interesting. Again, playing to KDCM strengths. If they want to brawl, these are the maps to do it on. Vitric Station, an interesting choice for EQ. However, there are ways to set up to receive a brawl that are very easy on Vitric. And we saw EQ set up for it last time. So that may be what they're anticipating, get KDCM knocked out if they decide to push. KDCM known for their brawls. However, in the past, I don't know, 2-3 years, they've very much diversified in terms of what is in their pack. So we'll see how that turns out. You know what? I never actually talked about where these guys came off of. I mentioned KDCM with their upset win over 5JDX. But let's see here. Aben's coming in over a win of Clutch 3-0. So that's sort of where these folks are coming from. And again, that was the knockout round. That was best of 5. This we are playing all 5 because of points. So 5GX pulled 1 win off of KDCM. KDCM taken 3. And one of the biggest upsets we've seen this year. And then Avens and Clutch, that one was more predictable based on the seeding. Avens a sweep 3-0 on that one. But so Clutch, 5JDX, SROT, and Casterian Guard all in the queue now, fighting for those top spots. All of them probably going to see these teams again, but this is for the top 4 seeding, where we have Equilibrium, Dark Sea Corsairs, Avens, and 5JDX. Let's see here. Yeah. That's more or less where we're sitting. Just a whole bunch of stall here. Check it. Oh my God, what is happening here? What is this copy pasta happening in chat? My analytics are unbeatable. Listen, I appreciate the copy pasta that you guys are doing. It is balm to my terrible self-esteem, but hey, here we are. I appreciate you guys in the audience putting up with my nonsense. But that's what we're here for. Hang on. We're coming up on 2 minutes for these guys. Make sure my clock is counting down so you guys can see that as well. And oh, give them that old. Oh wait. There we go. I've done it this time. Totally missed it in the. Here we go. We're gonna go ahead and launch on this one with my mistake there. Stalling for time when they'd already locked so long ago. I just missed it in the chat. Oh well. Here we go. Hibernal Rift, second match of the first round of the top 4. How many more numbers can I get into this? Oh wait, there's one that's already baked in. KDCM 17, the Q Dodders, who dodged the Q by winning their last match here. All right, let's take a look here on KDCM. We've got Jormungandr with dual Hag 30, so a Hag 60 Sun Spider. We've got SRM. Oh, this is pushy. We've got some high alpha Overwatch. Let's see, Snubs. They might just be doing the KDCM thing. I'm sure that Jenner is our SRM bomber. Ooh, we're gonna see some X-Pulse play here, folks. If you want to see how that goes, keep an eye on FDLR in that Firestarter. We'll scoot on over to Avens here. Oh, we're going. All right, so we've got Griffin, triple snubs, ATMs, and Hag. Interesting. Hag and large. Hag and large. What do we got over here? Got our Hellspawn with some push. So our wolf pack here is looking pretty strong for Avens. But I don't think it's going to matter entirely too much because we're looking at a push. Now they are setting up for the Kappa around here. Avens setting up around Kappa, maybe waiting for KDCM to go around that. But here we've got a split. I did not anticipate this one. So fair enough. KDCM taking the center and Sigma. Avens just waiting for that trap, waiting for that rotation around that I did mention, but it is not happening. KDCM pushing around the other side, waiting, expecting Avens to set up. So we've got a little bit of a fake out. Now KDCM taking the very long way around, keeping them guessing. But I think Giggity might, if Giggity gets caught visually, that might be an issue for this push. Meanwhile, their small wolf pack of 3 is just sort of screening what's happening here, trying to find them. They're just looking for each other. Avens, let's go on over to their push side, or their, versatile side, because they've got the option to do both. We're looking at them setting up on some of these trade positions that would have expected for the team 2 side to take. But we are, they're setting up there, waiting for the push, looking for where it's coming from. Now, when you're scouting, this is also something very important for some of the, man, my mind just blanked. But, oh yeah, when you're scouting, what you don't see is as important as what you do see. So they are not seeing KDCM. We've got Tios over here in the Hellspawn taking this point, but also looking down this Epsilon line saying they're not here. So at that point you deduce that they have, done the wraparound. And here we are, we're sitting in this sort of dead man's valley over here by the drop ship. Really precarious place for KDCM. They're probably going to want to push the right or the left side of this more than the right side. Just run over Bowser and Scrublord. But again, you're going to be running into the Overwatch of Avens, who are, that is a formidable line. And they are well set up. The push would have needed to happen while Tios was out, and even then, it is uncertain. Now we've got, oh, come on. I didn't look at this name ahead of time. Tawarz's, I'm going to call him Towar. Kind of scouting around the left side in this Jenner, just trying to find where the flanks are. Avens condensing. Often a difficult thing for a receiving thing to do. Puts them all in one grid. It doesn't really stretch anything out. So Zeos here looking for the back shots, hopping cleanly over that. That's a slick little move here. And he's going to take, oh, that is beautiful. Look at that. Zeos with that jump over that terrain is fantastic. Eats only heads going down here, but basically drawing all the KDCM fire towards the back, giving the traders the time to take two out, to take Jormungandr and Eats only heads off. Meanwhile, the, you know, half of the KDCM team is now down. Half of them are, well, they're not down, but they're split. 4 and 4 is what's going on here. Jay in the low ground with the XE. Tawar's trying to back him up. We might get Mech Warrior numbers. Jay going down to Heat. Mech Warrior going down for Heat. I don't know if that's entirely a trade. Tawar's not going to make it out of here with those snubs. Rick Rom in the night gear is trying to hop up. Scout Derek coming around, finishing off Giggity, and our fight is now, hang on, I've lost one. Sneck taking off Rick Rom over here in the back. I think they've lost track of where Sneck is. Sneck coming up in the Marauder here. What's on this thing? Probably some, oh yes, our lots of lasers. Bowser's coming in behind in the fire starter, and there's some back shots happening to Sneck. We'll watch Sneck fall apart here under the fire of Lizzie and Scout Derek, just on the cleanup here. And then it's just a matter of, well, Avens managed to snag a whole lot of points while KDCM was moving on that push. Always a danger there. So we see the wrap up here. It is 8-3 at the end of this one. And that is where we lie. All right, so Avens with a win. We'll check those damage. That was just a rough push. I think KDCM didn't know where they were going, and that time to kill Geos with that lovely Crusader jump, splitting the push. So here we've got, yeah, low damage for the KDCM because they just couldn't get there. The higher damage from the Avens team just pushing on through. Let me make sure that I've got that in the stats. Double checking there. We will push over to the scoreboard while we set up for the next map. We'll do a little bit of a review on Hibernal, but our next map is going to be Vitric Station. Pushing down here, Vitric Station. Don't need a time swap, so I'm just going to go ahead and get the timer started on here. Starting time with the first team. All right, so let us have a little chat about what happened there. So as we saw, KDCM, actually I had the sides swapped here, but I mean, it more or less, I mean, the same push route. KDCM went around this side, and then here, and then back over that left-hand side. So that was the KDCM path. It's a bit winding, and when you're pushing, they were secret. They did not know, well, Avens, I don't think, knew where they were all through this push, and then they're just like, well, okay, now we swapped side, got a bit of scouting, knew where Avens was. But in the meantime, what Avens did was they went on a disorderly path, interesting, through Kappa, probably anticipating some movement there, but just basically here, I'll change this to the solid line for the firing line that they set up. I mean, it was pretty much something along there. Maybe a little bit over this way. And then with Zeos, let's see if I can drop a pin. It's not going to be the right color, but that's fine. Hopping in right here, and you can just look at that little bit of cover there, hopping over, and what that, I'm deleting everything but what I want to. We'll just put it all back. But that hop over that cover allowed him to be separate from the rest of the KDCM push, and forcing them, they couldn't just like turn and deal with them. They had to actually commit and just get an absolute split. So we ended up with a 4-4 split, a couple of mechs going down on the on KDCM side, just on the approach. So very well received on the point of Avens, but now we are moving on to Vitric Station, and I will, this is not what I need. This is what I need. So I've got some drawings here, and I anticipate much the same. Let's just say for a minute that, oh, actually, we're coming up on 2 minutes, aren't we? No, we still got some time. All right, I'm just going to clear this. This would be the point at which KDCM might want to start mixing things up, because if we're expecting a why is it still dotted line? There we go. We're expecting a KDCM push just like right over the top. what's going to happen here, and we'll end up with a couple lights coming up this ramp too, so don't worry about that. I'm sure they'll split it off. But what we're going to see from the Aben side of things is just basically either a hold straight. This is the wrong color again. Hang on 1 second. I got to give these guys the 2-minute warning. In just a couple seconds here, and hopefully I didn't leave you all on the scoreboard. I'll check that momentarily as well, but I think we're on the maps. Yes, we're on the maps. So what team 1 is going to do... There we go. What team 1 is going to end up doing is either maybe holding this side here, holding this side here, or maybe some combination of both is what we're going to see. And we've got some great receive lines. Expect some scraps around Theta as these teams find each other. But really it's a matter of getting that scouting data. Do they see a push coming? You know, and will the Abens have time to set it up? KDCM's going to need to move very fast. Abens, again, focusing their fire very well here. We'll start our second team's timer. But yeah, this is honestly, I'm not even going to talk too much about alternative options. I expect KDCM to push the way they've been doing, but this would be the time to mix it up. If Abens expects a brawl, they'll bring a DACA deck. Hopefully, if KDCM wants to try to snipe it out, they'll also bring a DACA deck. Maybe use some of those, some of the hags. Get some of that range in there, and we'll see a little bit of a snipe fest with some Wolfpack fights. That's really probably going to be the best spot for KDCM right now, and I hope they adopt that strategy. But we'll see how that ends up going. Let's see, catching up on some of the chatter. All right, we've got feet talk. That's weird. All right, y'all. That's not a direction I went for you, but you know. All right. Yes, but hope y'all are enjoying the cast so far as I try to catch up on some of the chat. Y'all are having a lot of fun, and I love to see that. Oh, teams are backwards. I'm sorry about that. That is now fixed. But yeah, still chatting about Vitric here. I don't really know what else to say. I mean, we've got some areas around here that could really be at issue. Could get a little Wolfpack fight over here, but this is going to be over the watch of some some top level, well, literally top level, but also top level fire. Listen, assign whichever meaning to top level you want to either of those statements, okay? Either or both applicable here. Let's see what KDCM does here. Looks like they're about ready again. We've got both teams Alpha Charlie. There's really no point to Bravo unless you're Sun and someone running to Theta, but even then we're talking, I don't even know if it makes a difference because the pathing to Theta is a little wonky. You can't just pass right through. So really Alpha Charlie, no surprise there. That is what it's going to be. Both teams are showing ready at the moment. I'll go ahead and send you guys over to the lock real quick, just in time for the lock. And we'll go ahead and launch. Just keeping this moving along. Get to the match. Loading into Vitric Station. Let's see what we end up with. I suspect a KDCM push, but you know, again, please give me the head fake. KDCM, it is delightful. There's our, again, like I was saying, the beautiful young blue star, somebody's rapper name from the previous portion of this cast. Am. What the heck is this? All right, this is okay, sure. All right, let's take a look at the KDCM side. We've got a Marauder 2, C, a Mistlinks. The XC is going to be telling ERPPC. Interesting. The Crusader also, yeah, small lasers. This is going to be a KDCM. Let's take a look at what else we got here. We've got ourselves a SRM Huntsman, a Summoner, again, SRM. So yeah, we're going full. I'm curious about the Viper build. What do we got here? Machine guns and micros. All right, Aben, on the other hand, they are taking the top here. A couple on the bottom. The Hellfire on the bottom is interesting. Let's see, we've got, that's basically part of that. Our Crusader is Snubs. The XC also PPCs. We've got ourselves SRM Heavy PPC Stalker. That's interesting. Yeah, so we've got a mid-receive deck coming here from Aben's. The Wolfpack working the bottom floors. Tio's coming up here in the Hellspawn. Did I call the other one a Hellspawn? I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I called it a Huntsman. That's my bad. That is a Hellspawn. So yeah, we've got a Brawl Hellspawn. They are looking for a push. Tio's going to come up on the rears of KDCM if they go. Jay jumping down. Zelnega jumping down. All of KDCM jumping down, not pushing over the top. All right, so here comes some wraparound play. This is, again, something I didn't quite expect, but here's the Brawl. Browser on the outside with the Viper. Giggity gonna fire on Bowser, as well as Aben's starts to drop. Now, Aben's has the high ground here, but KDCM is all on the bottom, looking to take out that Wolf pack. So here we've got Towar with losing a leg. So Towar going to go down. Actually, Scrub got it first. Scout Derek also taking one down. So we are 1-1. Dreadnought Jormungandr overcooking KDCM, getting a little toasty here along the bottom. Let's see here. Towar still alive. That it just they need to get rid of that. Let's see. Bowser staying on the outside, 58%, not open on the Viper. Dreadnought coming up with the Hellspawn. SRM's trying to, well, actually opening up Bowser. Let's see what we got. Legging Bowser. Bowser should go really quick with that build. Will bring us to 2-3. Tios went down there at some point. Rick Rom taking Sneck out here as well. FD on the bottom. Zelnega probably legged, I would imagine. Yep, legged, trying to get some pop shots on Rick Rom, but Aben's just holding the high ground and raining hell down upon KDCM and holding it very well. KDCM, again, not a whole lot of angles, having given up the high ground and not pushing over. Giggity going down to Mech Warrior numbers. FD also going down to Bowser. Texas Scrub going down for Zelnega. Now we've got Towar, who's legged down here in the basement, sitting on Theta. Lizzie gonna drop and not going for the leg, not knowing that that one is open. They're going for the back, but here we've got the absolute crowd going with that Kodiak roar Warhorn from that last kill. All right, now it's just up to Aben's to do a little bit of capping, just enough to get those points, and that will wrap us for this one. Let's see, I will go ahead, log that win now for Aben's. Well done. Curious choice to drop. I think they KDCM wanted to pick Bowser, and I'm forgetting who at this point. But the split was interesting. Aben's holding the high ground and just firing down, letting their Wolfpack get out, mingle as they needed to, and just raining hell down upon KDCM. Some interesting pathing. But again, going over the top is also a rough spot because of those the receive lines that that other teams can just throw out there. Let's take a look at the damages. I expect better from KDCM at this point. FD and the Summoner couldn't really close. Ended up dropping it, or it couldn't really get up to get any sort of damage. So a double D for FDLR. Looking at Rick Rom in that Jaeger mech with almost 600 damage. Zeus in the Crusader with 500 and change. I mean, again, this is a tale of damage. KDCM took a while to try to get the couple Aben's down that they did, and that's kind of what we see here. Let's see, scoreboard should be up, so I'll send you guys over to that. Get these guys set up for the next map, and then we'll, I mean, there's not really a whole lot to say about that, but we'll look at that alternate path that KDCM took. Let me see here. So next up is going to be mining. Let's see. All right. 5 minutes. All right, got that counted. Let's see here. Yeah, so let's hop on over. Do this. So this is not quite as expected. We did see the initial development here of KDCM. as we always do, just coming around here. But what ended up happening was instead they decided to en masse just kind of go down here, deal with the ramp, but also just kind of mingle around the center, which is always just a tough spot to be. So we saw, and meanwhile, we did see Abens just kind of set up in sort of this receive line. They opted for the full thing with their light pack down below, which I think was what KDCM was trying to capitalize on, but ultimately it didn't work. Abens adjusted, got the angles, used their arm mounts, and was just able to rain down on them while they just took damage chasing 2 to 3 lights, depending on what it is, lights and mediums. Sorry, one sec, taking care of a couple things. So that's basically, you know, Bitrick develops only in certain ways. If we've seen more of a trade, that would be interesting. But KDCM opting for the push on this. So now we are on to the Mining Collective. I talked a bit about this. I'm going to clean it up a bit here, just a little bit. So these pink boxes are basically dead zones. You don't want to end up there. This is something that happened last match, got a little bit stuck. There's some extra dead zone, you know, ish areas in the back. These are just places you don't want to get stuck, because what happens is, and what was marked before in the same color, I'm going to mark them in yellow, is this Delta 4 and Echo 4 positions are sort of the high ground, don't try it areas, and they can just rain down on these death zones and, you know, just cause you a real headache unless you're tucked up, and the angles are different, as I was mentioning before. So what I expect to happen here, well, actually, we might get a KDCM push, quite frankly, around the outside. KDCM team 2 on this one, so on the right side of the map. Probably gonna cut it in half. Let's change my my color to something more interesting. Here we go. Probably going to take Charlie line. It is very possible that they could take Fox line too. Really, the direction of travel here is up to KDCM if they're going to continue to push. Now, they do have the better side of the map, and by better side, if you're not familiar, we've got these gaps here. So team 1 side, it is closed off. Team 2 side, if you bring a map control deck, you can set up here in Delta 6 and Echo 6, even back up to Fox 5, and then take one of these power positions, and just sort of have control of Theta if you can take it initially. KDCM, sorry, I missed the 2-minute warning. So KDCM, if they're going to continue this push strat, it's going to be an uphill battle here against Abens, who is, they are a very versatile group, and they're very good at keeping things moving. So they will respond to a push just fine. Again, I keep wanting KDCM to trade, but they keep pushing. So I don't know how this one's going to go. But I think if KDCM trades, well, Abens will shift, but I think they're going to have a better chance here. Of what we're looking at, throwing a bit of a wrench into the Abens plan. It's been so quick on their feet. I'm thinking so. They are a very hard team to work against with any sort of, you know, specific strat. So we'll see. We'll watch Abens adapt, and this is what y'all need to be doing in Q2. Watch Abens here. If you want to push, watch KDCM's push. Okay, there we go. Watch KDCM. They push generally very well. Which, you know, is not anything necessarily against KDCM. The problem is that the problem they're finding right now is that Abens adapts crazily, and some of the pathing, and they're getting a little distracted on that because of what Abens is forcing them to do. So the Abens receives here are really just, you know, chef's kiss. KDCM's brawl is also good. That jumping on a mech as soon as you can, and that we saw in Bitrick, jumping down on them, that can be very, very effective. But Abens was able to counter that and make them pay for it. So watch these brawls from KDCM, see where they're going, see where the faults are, but also see where Abens is receiving, because Abens are just top tier receivers on this. Take that as you will. All right, let's catch up on some of the feedback here. I'm going to send you guys over to the lobby, maybe catch some banter when it happens. listen, okay, I may have said browser, but hey, words hard, okay? He was browsing for damage. My words aren't wrong, but you'll see that in 7 minutes. All right. Let's see. Team 2 still getting together. Still plenty of time on the clock for them. Looks like, again, they are getting... all right, yeah, so actually, let's take a look. You can see some of the stuff on the map that I'll go with green. So we are looking with Team 1. We've got distribution in Alpha and Charlie primarily, which are good good spots to be. Probably a couple lights in Bravo to cover Kappa and get a scout, because there's very good scouting lines down that Charlie 5 for Avens. Now, looking at KDCM, we're looking at Charlie. They're very heavy in Charlie, which indicates to me a push over the center line more than anything. Let's see, some in Alpha as well, and then one in Bravo just to get that scout, maybe snag Sigma a little bit, get that scout down the Charlie line, see what Avens is doing, and that's sort of our distribution. So again, well, you can't really see this, but when you get into, if anyone is new to comp in general, some of the I guess the regular season matches, they're all done in private lobby. They're not done through the comp queue, which means you can see this distribution. So with distribution, you can get intelligence just like we're talking about. And before I give too much away to these teams in 7 minutes, since that seems to be a concern, we're going to go ahead and get going. What is Avens up to with this AM nonsense? Maybe there's something in chat. I don't know, but they've always got some sort of troll going on. So we'll see how they turn out here. Let's see. Right, we're loading in, and I need to change this. Where's my cursor? There it is. All right, so take a look at some of these areas that you're looking at. Here are our power positions. Play up on these platforms, and some over here. These platforms are where you want to be on this map. All right, and here come the teams in. Looking at, let's take a look at Avens first this time. We've got Death Strike, we've got a Night Gear, a Marauder over here, a Viper. Let's see what's on this Marauder. Light Gauss and ERP Marauder, very nice. Let's see, the Viper, we're running Flamers and heavy machine guns. I do like that build, usually on toastier maps, but that's interesting. Especially against a brawl that's going to shut down some of your brawlers. So viable weapons, some Hags on the Night here, very powerful build here. Hag 60 and 2 ER large. Mistlinks, I'm sure, is going to be machine guns and something else, maybe some Flamers on that. And some more Hags in play here, and a small pulse. All right, let's take a look. So Dreadnought here in the Viper, taking Theta early. So that is going to be what we want to see. Now, KDCM, again, I'm going to assume Brawl, looking at how fast they've pushed up. This Mad Cat with the heavy large is going to be their Overwatch onto the high ground. This is one way to counter it. Never mind, he's dropping down, holding that to make sure they don't get rained on by the place over by the Echo 4. High ground here could be a problem, but Avens is not yet there. They are not yet taking it. So this is working out. KDCM sitting there poised to pop around, going to be looking to catch, I guess, Scout Derek. Again, the fast movers are the ones on the side. The heavy movers on Avens are the ones across the map that are going to be getting those back shots on. As we see here, some trade. Who is over here at the cakes? We've got Mech Warrior numbers on the cakes. And just an even cap control distribution over here from Avens. However, they don't have the cap control. They're still feeling it out, looking for the KDCM push. This distribution, KDCM is going to need to push over, and here they go. They're going over the Echo 4 ground. Very good. Use those jets. But I think at this point, Avens is set up on the other side. We see that north-south split here happening. They're set up and spread out for them this time, which is the, you know what, things are going in a weird terminology range, so we're not going there. They are set. Now we've got some of the KDCM Wolfpack looking to disrupt this receive, and doing fairly well. MechWarrior numbers is opened up in the focus. The legs going down. Dreadnought going down there. I missed who killed. Jay killing MechWarrior numbers. And we've got 4 Avens mechs down here while the push is happening. It's a great distraction by the Wolfpack. It's gonna be costly though, so the main push needs to make up for that. This is the sacrifice to get them in. Jay escaping somehow. Lizzie overheating on Avens, so that's going to be rough. That's the advantage of this push. You put the pressure on, you cause some of them to overheat. Let's see here. Bowser at 67%, a little open in the back, nothing too major. Jay and FD looking real rough, but they take Geos from open to dead real fast. Texan Scrublord escaping. There goes Bowser losing legs, but managing to take Jay first. Scrublord taking out FDLR. Again, some of those. Sneck taking out Tios. This is just a blow for blow here, but ultimately we are 5-2. Looking at this, at who's left, Giggity taking out Texan with a very lovely, I don't know what shot, back shot, very nice. On that Ebon Dragoon, and we've got Zelnega out here searching for Scout Derek, who is away doing Scout Derek things with those sorry, was that a hag outgoing? Do we hag that up? We did. Hag 20 with some medium lasers. He's going to stay mobile. The problem is they don't have the cap lead. They don't even have the ticket lead, tickets being what I'm calling, you know, the points versus the cap points, which are like Gamma and Sigma and whatnot. Scout Derek just kind of running around, extending the time here. Not bothering to take Epsi. Maybe looking to take a few picks and open out. Now there's still some time. In a match like this, 400 is about where you want to start getting worried, maybe a little before. And actually, I take that back. We are at that point. Scout really needs to be thinking about caps at this point. KDCM firming up a couple of them, but keeping Sigma and Epsi open. Probably, let's see, if I were thinking about that, I would set up around them. But Scout taking a shot to the leg there and it just getting taken out. Man, someone is pegging those legs really in a wonderfully accurate way, and there follows out Scout Derek. So KDCM is taking a win off of Avens. Well played. That's what we want to see. So check that push. That was a very, very good push on the point of KDCM. So watch that one, and Avens had been set up to receive the push as they should have been, but the KDCM Wolfpack doing what they needed to do, pulling 4 of them off the high ground in order that the rest of the team could push forward. Again, we're going to see a much more even spread here. Avens actually might even come out a little on top with some of these damage numbers, give or take. Again, it's pretty even. But I think Avens probably did a little bit more, which says something to the KDCM focus fire during that push, which is another thing that you want. Scoreboard should be up. We'll take a look at that while I get these teams swapped as we go into the 4th match. Hang tight, everybody. Okay, let me double check. Swapping sides for Polar Highland. All right. Sweet. All right. Starting KDCM's timer now with 5 minutes. We'll take a look at what happened there over in the map screen. All right, so I'm just going to clear this out. Let's see, KDCM was team 2 here. So what they ended up doing is basically pushing around this side and over. Okay, I'm going to make like a little dotted line here. The Wolfpack, on the other hand, kind of went around this way. That path may not be 100% accurate, but in general, you get the idea. Now, Avens really kind of spread themselves out for a little bit. I'll use some solid bars for that. Like set themselves up here. And we're pushed over. Actually, no, that's not even accurate. Sorry, guys. This information is just about 10 seconds old. They set themselves up with a pretty good line. I swear this delete tool is too sensitive. All right. They set themselves up with a nice line kind of around this way, which is, you know, just part of the scouting and the development of that line. KDCM came along with this push, and basically what they ended up doing was forcing Avens to consolidate in this on the cakes here, pretty much. Being weird. In the cake side here as well, and forcing them to get pushed off into this backside to deal with the light with their wolf pack, right? And while they were off dealing with the wolf pack, this group was pushing and getting that distance, closing that distance without a whole lot of damage being done to them. And that's what you want in the push. You want the opportunity to close distance. Time is your enemy. It needs to be fast. It needs to be clean, and you need to get there. And that's just what KDCM was able to do. Now, obviously, if you are receiving a push like that, time is your friend. Spread out, extended around. So the things that happen here, Avens got consolidated onto the cakes there in Delta 3, which meant that they were not spread out to receive that, which means that the time that they would have to dump that damage into KCCM just contracted. Along with that, a number of their weapons were stuck behind a wall dealing with the 2 to 3 man wolf pack in between. So those guns were not on task while the closing was happening. And then you've got 4 to 5 fresh mechs just kind of showing up and able to counter your DPS, make you overheat, because longer range weapons are toasty. Now, we had a lot of mid-range weapons, but again, mid-range tend to be a little less toasty than the short range, with some exceptions, of course. All right, just throwing in some banter there. So that's mining. We're working on Polar Highlands right now. Let's see here with KDCM on team 1. This is going to look a little different. I'm going to clear this out. All right, so if KDCM insists on pushing, which so far they have, this would be a good map not to do it, but I keep saying that on every one. Expect sort of a push up the middle. We're going to see a pause here while there's scouting going on, and then they're either going to go left to deal with this or right. Those lines may be slightly off, but in general, that's probably what's going to be happening. If we see, that's what we're going to do. Now, how is Avens going to deal with an SRA push? Well, they're going to probably send someone over here to Gamma. And the rest are going to push up here to receive. Honestly, I haven't seen too many receives from this side, so it'll be interesting to me to see what happens. But somewhere along this line is where they're going to end up setting up, and just sort of adapting. Again, that is Avens' strength is their adaptation and their versatility. They're going to set up in sort of a general receive pattern, maybe contest over theta. I'm going to move towards a dotted line for the wolf pack, because honestly, expect the wolf pack to kind of roam around this area over here, and honestly, expect a little wolf pack fight over there as they scout. KDCM might opt to take theta. I doubt Avens will. We'll see where it's going. I'm just getting a lot of chat spam. 1 second. All right, yeah, things are still moving around. So we're going to see a lot of play around the center, especially if KDCM push. If KDCM decides to trade, that'll be interesting. I've forgotten who made the decision. Let me see. Who chose Polar? KDCM chose Polar. Okay. So here's what's going on. Let's talk. I think talk about what's going on here now that I see that KDCM chose Polar. Team 1 has that very nice, that field that I was marking before. I'm going to mark it in pink. They have this very nice receive field over here in this Hotel 7, Golf 7 area. KDCM took that away from them, which is going to force their mix to be more in isolation around the cover in that Hotel and India 10 situations. That's what happened there. Very smart on KDCM's. I see the lock. So we're going to go ahead and head on over, and we're gonna watch. and see where these teams end up. While we're loading in, I'll catch up on the chat. Oh, we've got predictions going. Fantastic way to do. Fantastic. I love predictions. This is the place to do it. Oh, I have to switch sides here real quick. So that will be correct. All right, here we go. Waiting for everyone to come in, watching the little snow drifts happening across. Very nice little environmental touch. I like that. Look out over the field. Look at this map. It's huge. It's beautiful. I love it. I love the rework on this. All right, where am I? I am on the Aben side. Excellent. Hang on, let me double check my maps. All right, so we are looking at Rancor. What's on the Warhammer? Warhammer rocking some Hags, Xe with ER large. Yeah, so this is much more of a snipe deck that we're seeing from Aben's. Not a whole lot of receive going on here. A couple of options with those you know, the micro laser, small laser backups going on, but in general, this is going to be a trade. Now let's see, scoot over to Jay. Let's see while we go on this path. Looking at the summoner, the skull. Ooh, the skull, that's an interesting one. The gargoyle, probably a push, but maybe not. We've got some options here. Let's take a look. We've got our Jenner, which is going to be SRM. That could be a very effective wolf pack going on here. Zelnega in the skull with 2 PPCs, flamers. Throw some AMS on there. You need another hard point used. 3 light peeps on the Crusader. Very interesting for Jay. SRM bomber on that summoner is expected, large pull. So we've got sort of a mid-range push-ish deck going on. So expect KDCM to not be pushing with their mechs, but be pushing with their weapons. That's another thing, folks. When you're doing a push, you can push with your weapons. So if you've got an Overwatch mech, like a high alpha mech of some sort, you can be on that Overwatch and pushing with your teams. You don't need to be static. Bowser holding up the cap on Theta, but KDCM able to hold that. However, Aben's going uncontested on 3 caps, going out to Kappa, which is interesting. So Teos in the Incubus Saber here, going out with some SRMs, very nice. Going out for some caps. It's a faster mech, but it's still going to take him a minute to get here. So here's KDCM holding around Theta. This is, they are taking up the space as KDCM holds around the outside. We've got a few mechs out by their Sigma cap, as KDCM basically goes to deny that and says, hey, there's someone over there on Kappa. Let's see if we can go get a nibble of that. But I don't think it's going to happen. No, maybe they've assumed he's moving on and we're pushing down the firing line. Now, Aben's has taken a different kind of firing line option here. They've taken around the Gamma Point. No one has taken the Gamma Point, which is interesting. But we got Texas Scrub Lord. They're all fighting it out. The bigs are starting to move out to the side here. They are headed for ultimately the Gamma Point, I think, throwing a sniper on that. Who's off backcapping? Is that Teos back there? That is Scout Derek off doing cap work. All right, so Avens are essentially a mech down here as KDCM tries to close. KDCM hasn't taken a whole lot of damage. Bowser taking a little bit. Mech Warrior numbers taking 11 on those cross, just trying to cover. And here we are on the Gamma Point. We've got the Executioner up top, lovely spot. And we've got some coverage back here by Lizzie in that Rancor. Good spread out. KDCM is going to push the rest. Lizzie's going to get a lot of back shots and front shots too, as we see on G-Wiz here. See those blue lasers coming out. Scrub Lord and Rick Rom coming to support against that G-Wiz push. Zelnega coming in, but here's the main push. Jay pushing with the Crusader. Looks like they're going to try to pinch that flank, but we've got another split push. This is a problem. We've got a 2-on-1 in the back. Rip Rom going down. Zelnega taking him down. Lizzie going down as well, and we are 2-2 on this. The split push, I may have spoken a little too soon. KDCM seems to be making it work. Giggity going down here. Dreadnought. Let's see, some consolidation is probably going to happen here on the point. of KDCM Geos in the Crusader. It's a 4 on 1.5. Let's say Scrub Lord staying on the outside. Towar's moving to deal with him in that Jenner. That Jenner very deadly to smaller lights, just chewing through with those. And here goes another few deaths. Right now it is 4 on 3 in favor of KDCM. However, Aben's having, well, it's probably about even on armor without doing a whole lot of calculations here. Tio's going down 4 on 2. The scales are tipping. 4 mechs can chew through all the armor here. Let's see how we're doing. The Jenner is going to be a little slow, but still has all the weapons on Towar, just trying to chase Bowser down. Let's see, how's Bowser doing? Bowser is open on the back a little bit, but otherwise pretty healthy. Dreadnought moving to cut him off. Scout Derek now starting to cover Bowser's escape. And we've got 2 fast movers and a 4 cap on Aben's side, and we're at 500 ticks. So KDCM needs 2 cap now. They have to. They've got a Viper and that Jenner they need to peel off, deal some caps, even though that Jenner's a little slow. This 4 cap is going to bleed them butt dry. And I think at this point, this match is going to end on caps in favor of Aben's, looking at a 4 cap at 500 ticks. So very interesting, you know, so KDCM making a very good push here. Aben's countering by playing the cap game, especially on a spread out map. It will take KDCM a long time to get there, and Aben's took those points early. So on small maps, you're going to see more kill based fights. On long maps, you're going to see some of this cap based. It could be kill based, but here goes Dreadnought just getting picked on by Bowser and Scout Derek all alone. Going to end real fast. That was beautiful. Legs just down. Lovely. What's on that Shadow Cat? I think there's SRMs on that. Oh no, the Hag. And this is, you know, take a look at this build. It's potent for looking like a kitchen sink. Towar's getting a little bit of fight from, are those ERs or heavies on that Vipers? Those are ERs, so doing a little bit of damage over there to Towar's, who is going for the cap. Now, Aben's going to try to deny this cap. Come on, give me the click. Don't hide behind me. Don't hide from me, Towar's. Is legged at this point. Okay, so Aben's did manage to take the leg. Scout Derek taking out G-Wiz as well. KDCM bleeding players. Towar's probably going to go down against this mostly front fresh Viper. Yep, there we go. Preserving the cap on the 4 cap. We're coming up and at 4 ticks per, what is it, like 1.5 seconds or something? Oh yeah, this is just absolutely not happening. Zelnega is left in the skull. Scout Derek actually has the option to kill here because Scout is so damn fresh. Zelnega is missing pieces. So we are gonna see Zelnega go down. Will Zelnega be able to hold on before the cap lead? He's only got a couple seconds here. Scout Derek getting the farm on a bit with some good twisting happening here. Let's see here. 432. We've probably got about 5 seconds left to get this kill on Zelnega. Scout Derek doesn't seem... What is Scout Derek even shooting? There it is. Scout Derek finally gets the kill in the final second. All right, there we go. That is Polar Highlands coming out with an Aben's win. All right, and team stats here. Bowser left alive, pulling 600 damage. Let's see, where's Scout Derek coming in? Also at the top of the pack, and you know, account of being alive and so fresh at the end really capitalized that. Well done to both of those, and decent received by Aben's, keeping your light pilots alive for the end, plus getting that incredible cap lead at the beginning. All right, Giggity in the Piranha Cypher having some nice damage there. Unfortunately not the most useful to the team, just ended up getting deleted by a mech at some point before dealing a whole lot of damage, but decent numbers across for that push. KDCM again putting in a good push. Check that pathing. Aben's again countering that push more successfully this time, and the way to do it on this big map by just taking those caps and just at the end it's gonna come down to, do you fight the 2 lights that are left, or do you deal with what's coming down? I did not put this in the lobby stats. 1 second. We'll get the scoreboard up here momentarily. This is gonna be the right one. Yes, that's the right one. Go ahead, check those out. And we are coming up on the final matchup between these two teams in the first round of our seeding round. All right, and we will be moving on to Crimson Strait. Start Avon's timer now. All right, so let's head on over to the map. Hang on, what did I miss? All right, sorry, just had to do a timer reset due to a mixed up swap. We're good to go now. All right, let's talk about Polar. This did kind of happen. I'm gonna erase a little bit of this because what we ended up seeing, I'll erase everything, sure, fine, is that Avens went through Sigma up to Gamma. Why are we being weird here? All right, Sigma up to Gamma, also out to Kappa, and that was Scout Derek, and then or no, that was Teos and the Incubus went to Kappa, and then eventually Scout Derek went around to Epsi for that 4 cap. There's that 4 cap path. Now what KDCM did was basically went and snagged Epsi and around here, completely ignoring Kappa. Didn't even ooh, was there a binary laser? Interesting. I believe binary lasers have been taken away. Refs will need to look into that. I'll have to take a look later, but that's interesting. So ref on call, take a look. That being said, so binary lasers, because of the glitch, has been banned from invitationals until they fix it. That's basically where that goes, in case anybody didn't know, and why we're not seeing any binary lasers. That fixes their HSL is a little borked at the moment. So yeah, then we saw KDCM move around this side, and well, actually no, they went more direct into Gamma, and then a split off over here as well, and then just all over the place as needed. So that's the lowdown on Polar. Now Crimson, a lot of this I can leave up. So what we're looking at here, we do have a snipe spot over here in Hotel 4. I don't expect any of these teams to use it, but maybe KDCM on team 2 probably going to push. Now, where are they going to push the wait a minute, there can't be a Viner and a Viper. God damn it, Jay. Never mind. There can't be a Viner and a Viper. Still getting used to the text of these new maps. In any case, this is a popular push path through Team 2. You can come around and right into Gamma. However, with Avens being very competent traders, the island is really going to be where we're at. Is where it's going to be at, because as you can see with some of these lines, and there's even some missing here, there's just a lot of opportunity for firing lines going out here. Hang on, I missed the 2-minute warning. Gonna go with a 1.5 minute warning as I'm talking to things, but in general, this is what we're looking at. And we see a little bit that passes from our previous EQ match. Just give me a couple seconds and I'll clean some of that up. There we go. All right, now I don't know if we'll see anybody take Theta. I don't expect KDCM to take Theta, but it is obviously an option. We'll see if anyone decides to. It could just be an island versus the world. Now, from the island, you have, again, these multiple firing lines. You can cover Epsilon. You can kind of cover Gamma. All right, we're going to start Team 2 lock now. So you can kind of cover Gamma, at least some of the approaches, unless Team 2 goes around and through the tunnel to try to snag it. But that's what you've got your Wolfpack for. You can cover the saddle, you can cover Sigma, and you can cover Kappa. So honestly, quite frankly, I expect Avens to have some of that, a pause at Epsi for some trade, and then a push towards the island. Now KDCM, if they wanted to counter that, just push the island. It does end up giving up a lot, but if you are looking at it, you can push over the island. Crossing this water in Delta 3 right here is going to be a bit of an issue with that push, but that's where your Wolfpack comes in. Come around Echo 4, pull some of that fire a little bit. Again, just like we saw in mining, Wolfpack, draw the attention of the traders while the rest of your people push in. It's a very viable push path. I don't think we're going to see both teams pushing here. Again, Avens kind of knows better, and their strength is trading, right? So that's where we're going to go with. Those are going to be my predictions here. We might see a little bit of a Wolfpack scrap over Echo 5. Quite frankly, I don't expect it. Where I would expect it, though, is maybe over here, more towards Delta 5, which is a problem if Avens decides to take the island, because again, they're fighting in range of the Avens Overwatch, basically. So KDSC, I'm gonna have to play this one very smart. We'll see how it turns out. Of course, you could do some trading. That island is going to be key. It's all just going to be a matter of who goes for it, if anyone. The last match we saw essentially no one go for island until it was confirmed that there was nobody there, in which case Equilibrium decided to take it and then just dominated the rest of the match. So we'll see how this turns out and which way these teams want to play. All right, going to send you guys over to the lobby while we wait here for the last team to lock. I'm going to kind of catch up on the chat prediction going down for the next one. Let's see here. Yeah, just catching up. People laying into my browser mistake. That's fine. Don't worry about it. Listen, that's why we have chroma key. That's fine. Don't worry about it. That's a terrible joke. All right, we're gonna go ahead and launch these teams already. Give a couple seconds to see that, and off we go for the final matchup. Actually, let me make sure my scoreboard is correct, which it is not. Hooray! Currently 3-1. Avens taking 3. KDCM taking 1. KDCM, definitely not down and out here. Avens will be doing some Avens at the end of this should be in second place according to the seeding round. I still don't know why this happens. I am not hitting any buttons. I am literally just clicking the thing. So I'm going to need to look at my keybinds here. But in any case, Avens should come out second, KDCM third at this point as a result of that one win taken off of Avens here. But there's so much more turning. Another 2 weeks to go of this. Let's see here. I'm going to say this is probably not tipped at this point. All right, there we go. Very good. All right, we are off to the races. We've got KDCM. We're seeing Sneck with the ER large. Here we go, folks. This is more like it. KDCM taking some traders. Very strong 5-man Wolfpack moving on there. Just out of curiosity, I'm going to check out this Phoenix Hawk, see what we've got here. Light PPC Phoenix Hawk, excellent build. I prefer the snubs myself, but light peeps also good. So we've got a 5-man Wolfpack for KDC. I'm pushing for Kappa with the snipers watching for that island opportunity and going for it. Now we see, look at this receive line. They are expecting that KDCM push in that path that I said over the island. That's the way to go. KDCM not playing it. This is one of those fakes going on here. Zeos and the Crusader up top looking for the push, just looking for it, not seeing anything. That snub counter is counter to the push. Let's see, Xe with the large lasers, we're okay there. We've got the Hag and large pulse. Yeah, so we've got a very good receive deck looking here. What are we looking at for a Nova? Curious. Hyper Assault Gauss on the Nova with a fistful of micro lasers. Very interesting. All right, so here we're starting to get some snipe going in from the island across at who is this? Tios in the Incubus trying to scout out what the heck is going on here. Now, has he seen the KDCM tunnel push? I don't know. It looks like the way that Abens is moving, they're moving to counter the island there, getting very nice concave. Look at the mini map right now. We've got the Wolfpack in the center of a concave looking for this water fight. They're still looking to receive here. Meanwhile, KDCM stacking up in the tunnel. They're going to come out the side entrance and take it out. Now, that UAV, dead giveaway. Look at the Wolfpack responding here on Abens, going to check the side tunnel. Now that they know that there are mechs over there, they've probably counted the laser burst coming from the island. Looks like KDCM getting a little out-traded. Giggity in the Death Strike there, down to 86%. And here comes the KDCM push. Let's see if we can, y'all making my casting weird, but hey, this is pretty cool. Here we go, in here, poking around the corner. This is our Wolfpack making a push for the side, drawing out some fire. Now look, all of Abens responds to reply to this side, except for one sniper left there. I don't know what let's pop out top, see what we're getting. KDCM pushing forward on the island a little bit, looking for that last sniper, but it's not happening. So this is going to end up being, yep, there goes Jay. This is going to be a 4 on like 7 at this point, right? 4 on 8 now that Lizzie's getting into the fray. Bowser with an open leg at this point, but Zelnega going down for KDCM. The snipers coming into the fight, but too late, I think. MechWarrior numbers taking some good burns there. FD pulling back into the tunnel. Let's get some ground shots, see how this tunnel fight's going. Is very careful here, and Abens is pushing into the tunnel. That's interesting. We've got 2 in the tunnel. FD going down. Yeah, so this is working out for Abens, even though they're out of range of their snipers, but so is KDCM. So Wolfpack fight where we can't see him in the tunnel. Eats only heads goes down in the Viper. So that is the Wolfpack for KDCM. Not enough damage having been done by their bigs. Giggity getting probably halved, or at least, yep, was halved and then CT'd. Sneck kind of clean up with the Xe over here. And Jormungandr in the Marauder just trying to pull some shots here. This is just going to be for damage. This is very much in Abens' favor. Nobody went for Theta. Not surprising. Let's see, Rick Rom in the Warhammer, firing into Snake. Lizzie getting the kill there, and now going for Jormungandr, but kill being taken by Zeos. Now Abens just needs to take one more point to clear out this game, and that's where we're going to be. So it's going to be Abens 4, KDCM 1.
Resource point Theta is ours.
So very well done on both teams. Well played. Watch these pushes. That KDCM push went a little sideways with Abens receiving. Abens are just the master of receiving the pushes here. So look at their mobility. Look what they do. Look when they move, and you will learn a lot from them. Let's take a quick look at some of the damages here. Yeah, so looking at Lizzie in the Death Strike, 686, almost 700, getting the farm on. Sneck in the Xe doing 404. You just see again the snipers on KDCM just not really able to get in the fight once Abens found out that most of the team was in the tunnel, and then that most of the team on the tunnel just got rolled over by some very good corner coverage by Abens. Excuse me, that we saw from some of them. All right, I'm going to send you guys over the scoreboard for a minute. While we close this out, we'll take a quick look at what some of that pathing was and how it worked. We'll take a good look. Let me load out, make sure no real issues here. All right, we've just got a whole lot of AMs. Everyone's out of the lobby. That's fine. All right, so let's head on over to the map room. We'll clear up what happens here, and then we'll wrap for the night. So Expecting this KDCM push here that we marked over here. Abens actually ended up setting out a very nice receive line over here, more or less that line here. We didn't see any of this back play here, so I'll just clear some of that out. What KDCM did instead is they pushed their wolf pack over to Echo 5, and they partially pushed onto the island. There we go. And actually I'm going to clear this line because that's not what Abens did. And then what happened was a UAV was spotted over here by, that's not a UAV, but pretend that's a UAV over here, through one of the cracks as KDCM tried to see what was going on. Are there any easy targets here? And they threw up a UAV. Abens spotted it, and immediately that wolf pack, which was hanging out in this area right here, starts to move immediately. I said, oh, hey, they're spotted, and they were already on the move to see what the heck is going over here. And ultimately calling out for what it was this side tunnel push here. And then we ended up with a little side tunnel skirmish here. I'll mark it in green, where the Avens then took their receive line and also immediately moved. Once it was confirmed, they moved around sort of this backside, maybe a little bit in here, and had all 8 mechs at this point focused on that side tunnel where KDCM was committed. Meanwhile, we've got all this cover in, I can't really draw any boxes, but all this cover in D4 here. And these sight lines basically don't exist for the traders. They took the KDCM traders off, the island traders out of the picture, held this side and just focused that side tunnel. Now, if KDCM had pulled back and made the fight happen, let's see, let's put yellow dotted lines. If they had pulled back, sorry, the tools are getting the better of me today. Pulled back through the tunnel and decided to take the fight out here. Much different situation. Bring those snipers and those long range mechs into the fight a lot sooner. Especially if they decided to back out and go for the water. There's a couple opportunities for that, but they opted to commit, which sometimes you have to do. So that's going to be our coverage today. Thank you everyone for stopping by, and I hope to see you all later. Once again, we'll have another 2 matches next week. Let me see what the lineup is on that real quick. Should be same time. Yeah, same times. So check the tournament link on the MWO comp. Same will be Equilibrium versus KDCM Q Dodgers, and then Abens versus the Dark Sea Corsairs. And again, this is all for points, and point order determines seeding at the end of it. So have a great rest of your day, everybody. Rest up, rewatch, learn for your teams, and we'll all catch you later. Ta-ta for now.
Let's play this game.
I need another heavy. I've got TB and a quick draw.
I want to get fairly tight to it. Now, anybody who's going to be working range, I'm going to need you to fade right on this. And then anybody's running short is going to stay towards the top of the caldera if we're going to come out.
I have you in the Griffin.
Sounds good. Well, that's the thing. We got to get to brawling range, so I may be moving us right up to the hoop if we have to.
Wolverine nach Charlie 4.
It's fine, chill out, man. It's fine, it's just a 5-starter.
Warum Leute reden miteinander?
15 seconds.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't die.
Guys,
15 seconds, don't die.
guys. 3, 2, 1.
Charlie Dar, CT, yellow. Okay, go to Charlie, see if we can get it.
There. To your left, is there? Excellent. So, jetzt guys, hinter die Indie-Pockets.
Mediums be prepared to pull back E40 towards the E5 border. On my mark.
Left side, come on! Like now, I need strikes on empty barrel. Wire our strikes up.
Die Hauptgruppe rechts, Uferlinie.
They have 3 mechs sitting on the left side when you pass over.
Overheating is bad.
Both legs on the Griffin. Get the Griffin!
Oh, yeah. Sorry about that. That was such a
That's all right. I'm gonna spawn Lance, you guys in Charlie, Lance, you guys in Bravo. That's B2C1.
This third drop is 2 lights, 2 mediums, 2 heavies, 2 assaults.
Kurz in die Breite, zieht euch in die Breite.
Lights, watch our backs. We're gonna about base and take up position in Bravo 6.
Ja, kurze Aufschaltung Delta 4, 3 Stück, 2 Mediums einleiten, wie ich es richtig gesehen habe.
Make a firing line.
C4 Tactical Hill, Boys.
Fox.
Laufen unter ECM, hab 2 durchlaufen, 10 Bravo 4.
And get ready to hit people coming from our right.
Charlie on the left, Charlie, a Hellbringer on the left.
Okay, let's group up towards the left. We're gonna press through Bravo 3 to Bravo 4. I think they're kind of spread out.
Check yourselves, make sure you've got, UAV cool shot.
Hey, here they come. They're pushing hard, guys.
Deco. Tez on.
Go.
Oh, got a contact here, Bravo 3.
Nice, Marshall. I'm on Delta Griffin.
We'll get cross it then. Get in their face. They got a highlighter. They just pushed up on Theta. We need help on Theta. Up on Theta. Yep, that's the noise. Go. Let's finish this. Full pressure, guys. Full pressure. They're down low. They're down low in Charlie 3. Get the fucking arm, Jackson.
Jackson, cool shot.
Go. I got him.
Go, B3, go.
Echo, go.
Get over on your medium, guys. Get Echo Stormcrow. God, I suck as a pilot, but thank I packed my skill. I'm sorry that you died, sweet girls, but we will send a reasonably nice letter to your family.